What's the issue that we have? That we cannot produce a Nissanka level trajectory.
I think at the base level, we just don't have that gifted a player.
Least performance and resilience today that they showed
Very good.
after the power play has to be talked about, and their
I
entire
think ये जो
performance.
season BBL cricketers है उसका बहुत फायदा है.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's just this generation. Next gen, we don't know about Italy, but this generation, they're very useful
Yeah,
cricketers, man. Excellent.
yeah, and also just the way they've played the entire tournament, right? They've been a very professional side. They've
Very true. Yes.
Welcome to Over and Out with Dawn News. I'm Saadi Raza here in the US. With me, Izzy Khwaja is back from the UAE, and Mustafa Siddiqui with Dawn News English. How are you guys? The morning after the night before.
I've recovered.
So,
I've recovered.
AZ, welcome. Give us your thoughts on India Pakistan version. I've lost count of how many in a row we have now lost, and I don't think we've ever beaten
It's
them in the
8-1 at
history.
World Cups.
There we
Eight,
go.
8-1 at T20 World Cups, and like we've not beaten them in an ODI World Cup.
Give us your take. What
Yeah,
happened?
we just conceded too many boundaries. The sheer volume of boundaries we conceded up top to Ishan Kishan. I mean, that truly was, matlab, abhi in perspective, when we zoom out in a couple of years, we'll truly realize what an OP innings that was from one guy. I mean, the 77 of 40 that he made 10 boundaries and three sixes, if I'm not wrong. And he just took the game completely away from us. It was absurd. Once again, we were talking about the merits of chasing against India, and once again, we've just got further proof that we have absolutely no chance batting second against them in a T20. They're just too good. We take too much pressure on. We just bottle it immediately. Saibzada Farhan, disgraceful shot. Salman Ali Agha, disgraceful shot. Saim Ayub. Once again, I'm asking once again, tell me what I have to hang my hat on with this guy. He's pathetic, man, against the big teams in the pressure moments with the bat. He's useless. He's just stat padded a couple of times against some ordinary teams and against Australia B and Australia C. But you keep telling me he's the next big hope. He's the next thing. He's the LeBron James. He's the Cooper Flag or whatever you want to call it of cricket when he's absolutely rubbish with the bat. Absolutely underperformer. जितनी बाबर की तनकीद होती है इस बंदे की क्यों नहीं होती यार? What has he ever delivered for us in T20Is? Okay, in ODIs he's fair enough. You can stick with him in that format. It's the easiest format for batters in the first place. But what has this guy shown you in T20Is with the bat? Flashy 30s, flashy 40s at best. He's barely played any match winning innings, and he's played what, 60 or 50 games already in T20Is in a couple of years or 2 or 3 years. He's not a spring chicken anymore, and he bottled horribly. Once again, matlab, Jasprit Bumrah made him look like an amateur, complete amateur. And Babar Azam, of course, a pathetic dismissal as well. But his chart is trending downwards. Anyways, I don't want to pile on because it's just adding to the echo chamber. But the one who has been pinned as the next big hope, that is Mr. Saim Ayub, is absolutely garbage, man, in T20. Simple as that.
Can we discuss your LQ guy? Your
It has to
bowler?
be.
Shaheen Shafridi was certainly poor, but you look at our tactics, man. They were all over the shop. I mean, Abrar keeps getting hammered, and you wait till what, the 12th over to bring on Usman Tariq, who is your hidden weapon X, who there's been so much lore about developing already. He persisted with Abrar even though he kept getting hammered. Shadab was treated like a club bowler. Shaheen Shafridi, fair enough, he didn't play well, but that hook shot that Ishan Kishan played against him was a class shot. In the last over he bowled a bit poorly as well. Letting Shivam Dubey hit you for six was certainly bad, but we were so all invested in on the spinners on this track that you knew they were going to target Shaheen, and unfortunately he did not bowl well enough. Fair enough, he was poor, but the way you let Ishan Kishan get away with the game in the first 10 overs really put you on the back foot, and 150 would have been par. Even then, we probably wouldn't have chased it, but letting them get up to 175 was just absurd, especially with the tactics we had in the first half of that Indian batting innings.
I think that's where you're absolutely right. That's where the game was lost because in the power play they were 52 for one, slightly above 8 runs an over.
Hmm.
But in the next two overs, they gave up 30 runs and they went from 52 down
They
to
got
82
that
for
bump,
one.
exactly,
They got the bump
exactly.
at the
That was the
time where
point.
teams naturally consolidate and slow down the run chase. And that was because they gave the overs to Shaheen and Abrar. And then the other mistake that was made was that giving Abrar that third over
Shadab and
after
Abrar.
Shadab and
Shadab and
Abrar,
Shadab and Abrar.
Shadab and
Wrong
Abrar,
Shah, wrong Shah.
wrong shot. But after, and then that was compounded. You brought them down to 6 runs and over, then you gave the 18th over again to Abrar after he'd already gone for 11 and 13, and sure enough, he went for 14. If you take the Shadab single over, Abrar's third over,
Not playing.
first two, you got to give him the first two, and then Shaheen's over, the first one where you knew that they were going to target him. Just that would have taken your score from 175 to a much more manageable 150. I get your point about Simon Yu, but I think at that point there was so much scoreboard pressure. He just got out to a good ball. I think the bigger issues is the score
Hadi bhai, he got
construction.
out to a straight ball. इसमें ऐसा क्या था
He
यार
did, but
जो
it was
उसमें
it
out
was
हो
still
गया?
a, it was still a
मतलब the
goal.
way he shaped up, he looked like a buffoon the way he was
I
trying to
agree.
face the.
So he got, he hit him for 6, and then he got a little cavalier, and he got York the next ball. And then of course the ridiculous review. I don't know what he was trying to do with that. But if you look at this team, where is the future of Saibzada Farhan as a T20 opener? What is the future of, say, Nawaz in this team or Shadab as a all-rounder? You can't trust him with the ball. To me, there needs to be serious introspection long term, but also short term against Namibia. Where do you guys, Mustafa, I'll bring you in on this.
Yeah.
What do you think the changes should be made for Namibia? And then what do you think they will actually do?
So there are some reports that both Shaheen and Babar are being dropped for Namibia. That is what apparently is happening. Okay, and they're bringing in Naseem.
Rested.
Huh? They're being rested. Yes,
Rested.
rested. So apparently they're bringing in Naseem and Khwaja Nafe, which is two changes that we were talking about since the beginning of the tournament, right? So I would do that. And another thing is, you have to make a decision. Is Fahim playing as a bowler, or is he going to bowl? If he is not going to bowl, play another batsman. Like, as much as I love Fahim and how much he saved us in the Netherlands game, if your batting lineup is already small, you're already playing Shadab at 6, you should be playing another batsman if Fahim is not bowling. Okay?
But I
Is it
think
your
it's also a
thoughts?
bit unfair to take a referendum based on what these guys do against India. Otherwise,
No,
you
I'm
can't
not taking.
select anyone.
No. I'm not taking
I'm not saying you're doing it. I'm not saying it you're doing. I'm
No,
not blaming you at all.
you're
I'm just
right.
saying if we
I
talk
think
about Nawaz and
I
this and
think
that
No,
and
no,
Shadab,
no.
it's a bit.
India crystallizes the issues that were already there in the
Exactly.
team. We were having
No,
these
Sadi bhai,
discussions
Nawaz has
before.
been your top wicket taker in
No,
T20 as this last annual.
I'm not talking
But
about Nawaz.
we're talking with
I'm
his
not
name
blaming
comes
you,
up.
Mustafa. Why are you being so
I'm
His
not being
defensive? I'm just
defensive.
saying,
Nawaz's
yes, you
name
are.
comes
I'm
up,
not saying it. I'm not saying. मैं कह ही नहीं
but
रहा कि तुम कह रहे हो. I'm just
Nawaz's
saying
name
we cannot
comes
take
up.
a referendum on these guys based on
Correct.
playing against
No, but
India
हाँ
because they're all failures.
हाँ समझ.
Nawaz's name comes up in the bigger context of the future of this team, not this tournament. Obviously, in this tournament, he's here. He's not one of the people that we talk about, adjusting the lineup for. But your point about Fahim Ashraf is accurate because clearly they're going to go spin heavy the rest of this tournament. They know all the games are going to be in Colombo. What would you do, Izzy, with Fahim Ashraf?
I think that Mike Hassan is not going to compromise on batting length. He wants somebody to be able to bat at 6, 7, 8. Fair enough, we have used this gamble in the past, especially 2018. I remember in that Asia Cup when we went with this all-rounder packed side, Fahim Ashraf and Nawaz, and what's it called? What's his name? Shadab Khan. It was a disaster then. It's still a disaster now. But the problem is that we've committed to having a frontline spinner as well with Abrar. We are backing him, and fair enough, he's performed really well over the last couple of seasons as well. So the compromise is on the pace department. We're already playing with only one frontline spinner because it's such spin heavy condition. So further, debilitating it with playing somebody like a proper batter or a proper seamer. Mike Hassan is never going to do that. He wants batters till 8. So I think we'll have to just suck it up and take it. There's no other choice at the moment, to be quite frank.
I understand what you're talking about, but if Aga is bowling as well, and if Saim is bowling, and if Shadab, okay, let's say Shadab still plays, and he has to play to a certain extent because the way the squad is constructed, he has to play. No, like no matter.
Shadab doesn't have to play.
Like, who would you play in place of Shadab?
He's an intent batter. That's why he plays. Otherwise, you could easily slot in Nafe for him. You
Okay.
don't need that many spinners. Yeah.
Okay, so you could take out Shadab and put Nafe there. Okay, you still have 4 overs. easy. So you probably have like 5 to 6 overs with Saim and Aga in the
Absolutely, you do.
yeah. So you can easily play. You can play Saim, Aga. That's about 6 overs there. You can play. I do believe you need to play two seamers, right? I think
Hmm.
it is foolish. We became too spin heavy in that game, and that cost us. We should have at least given Fahim one over, in my opinion, because I think that those conditions were actually very suited to Fahim Ashraf because he's very much, hit the deck a little bit cutter. It would have been a good grip for him, right? The problem I have is I think you might have to play Salman and Mirza and Naseem. I don't I love Shaheen, but the thing is he's not performed all tournament. He has not been performing. He didn't perform in the Big Bash, and it's very obvious to us that he is still probably nursing an injury from the Big Bash. If he is not 100%, he should not be playing.
So you propose Mirza and Naseem for Shaheen and Barber, obviously, and then you Shadab for Nafe.
Yeah,
Reasonable, reasonable.
that's what I would do.
Do you
We're
think
gonna wake up against them maybe, and it's gonna be the
same
same
It's
team?
team.
gonna be
No,
the same 11. I've
do you
accepted
think?
that.
Yeah, that's the other part. What do you think they will actually do? So let's come to today's games then.
Yeah.
Um,
Good games.
Australia is basically on the brink of elimination. I think
Yeah, they're gone
Yeah.
if Zimbabwe
if
were going tomorrow.
Zimbabwe beat Ireland, I think Australia are
That's
out.
over.
Let's
Yeah.
dissect that game. It was Sri Lanka
Very similar to
was
yesterday's game.
fantastic.
Yeah, very similar to
Yeah.
yesterday's game.
So if you look at our preview, one of the things we talked about is we were worried about Australia's bowling depth. In the game against Zimbabwe, they only took two wickets. In the game against Sri Lanka, they only took 2 wickets, and of course Nissanka crushed them with basically a 200 strike rate century that he made.
Hmm.
Um, can we talk about him for a second? He
Oh,
is a
he's
player.
class.
But
Too
he's a
good.
player who has developed his tools and developed his skills and talent into becoming a great T20 batter. What was the last time a Pakistani batter developed his skill set to that level? He went from basically a middle of the road average batter to harnessing his skills, getting an IPL contract, and now here you see on the biggest stage. What's the issue that we have? That we cannot produce a Nissanka level trajectory.
I think at the base level, we just don't have that gifted a player, to be quite frank. Like Saibzada Farhan, he's not a new commodity. We've known about him since the Fakhar Saman days, 2017,
Mm,
when they used to open together for Balochistan at the Pentangular Trophy. I still remember I saw, oh, Saibzada Farhan, he's a good striker of the ball, this and that. So Fakhar got the nod, and of course that changed his life as he did. He changed all our lives in the Champions Trophy. But Saibzada Farhan is block or slog. You can see he's a limited player, leaden footed. He likes to punch the ball, off the back foot. That's his game, and he has that power game. Apart from that, in terms of pure batting skill, who do we have in Pakistan in the top order? Is the same guy. Saim Ayub was supposed to be the chosen one, or वो आपके सामने ही है. He's a मतलब when has he ever performed a match-winning batting innings for Pakistan when it truly mattered? Is the same critique I have for him as everybody else has for Babar. Rizwan, you basically. He's a refurbished T20 opener. He did what he could in his limited skill set. I don't see that gifted kind of batter. The flavor of the month currently is Mustafa's Mr. Khwaja Nafe, who's supposed to be a very good player based on two reels and three TikTok and three
s-
four Instagram statuses. There's nobody out there that's got that top
you
level
have
skill set that we're
you have
looking
Hassan
for. So I don't
Nawaz
see.
that who should be in the squad as
Oh
well.
yeah, come on man, Hassan
No, no,
Nawaz
no,
तीन बॉलों पे बोल्ड हो रहा था that
no.
IL T20 पे
It's
जलील
still
हो रहा था स्पिनरों के
no.
खिलाफ
It's
यार.
still like
But
what?
how much
He is a
goes on to
technically
the,
broken player, yaar. Come on.
No,
He's a great striker of the
but
ball.
what is the
He's a good striker
responsibility
of the
of the
ball against spin,
player?
but he's technically and mentally
yeah. So
not
that's
there at all.
what you need at number 4, number 5 in T20s, especially in Sri
Did you not
Lanka.
see him bat in New Zealand when he was
He
batting in the top
he
order?
would have been good. He would have been good here, especially in these conditions.
What's that? If my granny had a bike, what's that expression? Had wheels, she would be a bike. ये वो वाली बात कर रहे थे हम.
It's a
It's
little
just
bit
fiction.
more.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, sir.
The saying is a little bit
It
more
is
Why
better
did he
restrictive.
to,
get dropped in the first place?
sir. He got dropped in the first place because we want. They always want to get fit Babar in because he's
Because he
politically
was
more.
laying a duck farm. That's why, bro.
Nah, I am still a believer that it's better to play youth and like we were talking about
Based
this.
on what?
No,
We
no, no.
lose young, you still lose. What is this
Listen,
logic?
listen. Okay, let me.
You're projecting. That is the problem in Pakistan. We keep projecting a kid who's 20 to play for us for 12 years, make 10,000 runs, make 30 ODI hundreds. That's
Sir,
not the way it works,
sir,
man.
that's on my thing. I am literally just saying we have obviously tried and tested Babar in this format. It has not worked for the last 4 years. Maybe it is not a bad idea to try a new thing. Okay, we did the same thing with
Let
our
that new
no no
thing
no no
have merit
no no
of
no
being
no no
selected.
no no. Listen,
Hmm.
yeah, let it happen. Fakhar Zaman came in after we lost the first game in the Champions Trophy. We brought in Fakhar Zaman, didn't we? Yes or no?
Fakhr had numbers, man.
No, Fakhar
What
had.
numbers does Khwaja Nafi and
So,
Hasan Nawaz have?
they have numbers. They performed well in the PSL. ऐसा भी
No, but my point is this. My point is Sri Lankan cricket doesn't exactly have the world's greatest infrastructure, and yet Nissanka basically has
Bro,
developed a
batting
game.
उनकी ethos एक बड़ी तगड़ी है ना. They make
हाँ
proper
Yeah,
batters.
but how much of the responsibility of game development falls on the individual? Nissanka
Absolutely, that's
has
very
no,
true.
it's a
वो
lot,
भूख
a
होनी
lot.
चाहिए, वो drive होनी चाहिए आप में.
right, and Nissanka
Hmm.
has shown he's basically self-made.
This guy's made two T20 hundreds against Australia and against India in the last 6 months. He's a dog, man.
Correct,
And
but
I've always been a fan, but he's a dog now,
before those
proper.
last 6 months to a year, he was just average
He
Joe,
was fine, but yeah, he wasn't there. He's true, very true.
right?
Yeah, and
A
but then
strike rate about low 100s, nothing
And
nothing
Kusal
like
Mendis
this.
goes underrated. He's made
yeah,
350s on the
Yes,
trot in this World Cup.
so
He's been
this
brilliant.
partnership couldn't have manifested without Kusal Mendis on the other side.
Very true.
That was the beauty of it. Any
And
other
speaking of
thoughts?
Australia, man, their T20 team is all over the place. I mean, they're
okay.
old and they're not good, and the youngsters are no good. So they're lost in a bit of a purgatory is coming up in the next 2 3
But
And
years. But
it's
maybe they
it's interesting
rebound, but you never know.
sir, the
because
most
Mitch
expensive.
Marsh.
Sorry, the
Go
most
ahead.
expensive
Bole, bole.
IPL player. Still another duck for him.
But if you look
No,
at
he got a single
Australia,
today. He got a
Yeah,
single.
if you look at Australia, Mitch Marsh and Travis Head managed to put on 100 in about 8
104.
overs.
100.
Yeah, in about 8 overs, and then they collapsed from that to 181 all out. How does that happen? You basically they had built you a platform to go over 200, which is really what you needed.
It was absurd that they dropped Renshaw for this game, which was so stupid. I mean, the guy was adapting well to Sri Lankan conditions. He made crucial runs for you in the previous game and you dropped him. Matlab, it was crazy. They keep rating this guy, Josh Inglis. Fair enough, he's a only keeper.
What's their
He's a
goal?
terrible
Do you
player.
think their goal is long term, 2027? That this
I
was a
don't think they have
throwaway tournament?
any goal in
They
ICC
have no.
tournaments, to be honest.
They have
They
no
don't
goal.
care.
They don't care about They don't care about T20 World
They
Cup.
damn care.
The only tournament they care about is the actual 50 over World Cup. We have seen them so many times.
They care for it if they don't win it for a while. फिर वो
No,
कहते हैं चलो यार थोड़ी जान मार लो.
no, they do. They always try to put out their best team and actually think about what squad they're constructing in ODIs. In T20s, they just say, okay, these are the top 5 scorers in the Big Bash. Okay, there's all openers. That's fine. We will fit all 5 of them into our top 6. That's what
Let's come to England over Italy. Not
Oh,
in
what a
favor,
great
but
game. Fantastic
cricket.
game.
It's a great chase by Italy, right? They fell short a
Very
little
good
bit,
chase.
but England just Will Jacks too many runs at the end, over 200
Good,
again.
man.
But it was a very good chase. I mean, the Italians can
They
be
were
proud of
105 for 5 when Will Jacks came in and changed the game. That
no,
was
the
crazy.
Yeah.
Italians can be proud of how they performed in their
Especially
first
because they were like
T20 World Cup.
13 for 3, right? Or something like that, right?
Yeah, they were down. Yeah.
Like 13 for 3 and then getting to 180. We were
They were, I think, 24 for 3 and something
so
like that. You're right.
24 for 3.
Yeah.
No, so now I want to compare. Like I know I'm going
I
back
know
to.
you're coming to this. Go for it. Go for it.
I am going to go to Pakistan, India. I'm going to make 2 comparisons with both games. Okay, with Sri Lanka, Australia, and with Italy, England. Now look
Mm.
at how Sri Lanka attacked the chase, that 180 chase. Yes,
Mm.
the wicket was a little bit flatter, but it still had spinner, right? They look how they were confident in how they chased. A wicket fell. They were smart about it, but they did smart aggression, and they never let the bowlers rest. We always let the pressure build up always, and like have very stupid shots. That's
No, but I did say Shadab and Usman did well to put us
No,
in
no,
a reasonable position.
Shadab and Osman did well. I literally said if if we had two good overs, if we scored like 30, 40 runs around this 8 to 9 over mark, we would have been the game would have been flipped. Like it was like we would have been talking about this. Two good overs can flip a game essentially. Yes
Well,
or no?
two good overs flipped the game for them. Overs 7 and 8, basically, where they scored 30 runs off them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Changed the
exactly.
trajectory of that
It's
game.
literally that, right? So that's one
But
part.
what did we think about Usman Tariq's performance?
Usman Tariq or Usman Khan?
UTE.
What's a
Usman
UTE?
Khan तो हमें
10,
पता ही है जो
10,
भी है.
10, 10 dot balls,
Not bad.
came in too late. 11th over,
I think he
bring
was
him
fortunate
on.
to be bowling a lot to Tilak Verma, who was like
Yeah, he was.
completely out of it.
He was, but I think they brought him on too late.
100%. That was the
Yes, yes,
biggest
yes,
L.
yes.
That was the biggest. I mean, Salman Ali Agha is a.
But is that from
I don't
him or
want to
is
say
that from
anything
Mike
about him.
Hessen? Is that from him or is that from Mike Hessen?
Good point. I think there थोड़ा सा तालमेल है. There is a bit of a synchronicity there, but both fumbled the bag big time in
Yeah,
this match.
yeah.
Why do you want to chase against India, man?
No, I don't think fundamentally it was it was the wrong
So you
idea
thought
to.
you thought it was a wrong toss, is he? I mean,
I
Sky
don't.
said
I
he
agreed
would
in
have batted
principle that you
first.
bat deep and you. I like the principles, but India versus Pakistan, you don't rest on your principles, man. It's a gut check game. It's an instinct game. It's a vibes game, and just we played perhaps into their hands. I think. लेकिन तब भी 175 आप कर सकते थे यार अगर आप में थोड़े से cojones होते, so to speak.
I just think like it's literally a. I think if the score was 20 runs less, I think we
तब
would
भी
have.
नहीं होने थे. तब
No,
भी नहीं होने
it
थे.
would.
नहीं होने.
No, but the approach would have been different. The
The
pressure would have
approach
been
would have been
different.
different.
Bro,
The
they
pressure.
started like we're chasing 230. और भी चलाओ 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 यार बुमराह यार यार देखो तुम्हें पता वो आउट
No,
करते
this is
तुम्हें
like
क्या हो गया तुम्हें.
I was talking about this. You got a four off Bumrah already. Why are you trying to hit him again, Aga? Like why? Why you trying to? You already got what you need. Okay, let's get back to today's games. Those need to be talked about more because Italy's performance and resilience today that they showed
Very good.
after the power play has to be talked about, and their
I
entire
think ये जो
performance.
seasoned BBL cricketers है उसका बहुत फायदा है.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean
yeah.
it's just this generation. Next gen we don't know about Italy, but this generation they're very useful
Yeah,
cricketers, man. Excellent.
yeah, and also just the way they've played the entire tournament, right? They've been a very professional side. They've
Very true. Yes.
like even if they might not have the most talent, they've been very professional. They've been maximizing all of
Mm.
their resources.
Can you see the PSL going for any of these players?
Mm.
Um,
Maybe Kalu Gamage, the leggy, but he wasn't that outstanding either. But don't think so.
hmm,
Even though one of the Menenti brothers as an aggressor in the middle order, not bad, man. It's okay. They're better than ours.
yeah,
Matlab, if you told me to pick Ben Menenti over Iftikhar Ahmed, I'd do that 11 out of 10 times.
maybe Stewart because he's an all-rounder option.
Nahi yaar,
Yeah,
bowler is trash, man. He's very bad. It's very bad.
yeah.
Let's go to the last game of the day. AZ, unfortunately, the Afghanistan team beat your UAE pretty
Mm.
easily in the end. Your thoughts on that game and the campaign in general for the UAE?
Yeah, they batted really well. They set up the game well, but just fell away in the crucial moments. 160 was never going to be enough. And in the bowling department, they fought really hard. But the problem is in this squad, we didn't have a leg spinner right from day one. And that has been a massive pet peeve of mine. Too many finger spinners who don't really turn the ball big. And in the end, of course, it was never going to be a tough score to chase. Even though you got lucky, you got Gurbaz early, and you even managed to get Ibrahim Zadan, who played really well. We put a lot of pressure, and it felt like the same old bottle was going to come in from the Afghans. But Azmat Omarzai is too good. Yeah, I love that guy. He's such a great bowler, such a fantastic cricketer, mentally absolutely ice cool. And he was the one who should have finished the game versus the Proteas, but this time we didn't miss out in a very good chase. And fair play, Afghanistan were obviously the better side on paper. UAE fought valiantly, but made some mistakes. They had some weaknesses in their playing 11 in the first place, and unfortunately, they could not get over the line. They came very close, but in another day, perhaps it could have gone in their favor.
So when does Izzy Khwaja become the Rob Key of UAE cricket and take over the entire in
I
the
think my passport is
development?
the wrong color for that, if you understand what I mean.
Okay.
So let's go to tomorrow's games.
Oh
Uh,
God.
tomorrow's games.
South Africa,
I think
UAE,
Ireland versus Zim is a bit spicy. Could be
Ireland. Yeah,
interesting.
because it's an elimination game for the
Yeah,
Yeah,
Australian,
maybe some pressure
and
on
then
Zimbabwe. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then of
yeah,
course
yeah.
Nepal as well playing tomorrow against the
And it's
Scots.
also technically
So,
an elimination game for New Zealand as well, but it's against Canada. So, but like,
is
Yeah.
Ramzan on the 18th in Pakistan, Mustafa?
Ramzan is, yeah, I
Grand
believe
Thursday,
Slam, as I
right?
like to call it.
it is
Thursday.
19th, I believe.
एक तो है ये.
हमारा
That's
sir,
another can of worms.
that's another can of worms. We do not want to get into this right now. Uh,
Or we want to be on Dawn News proper then.
yeah,
If you want to
yeah,
talk about this.
yeah. But like no, so Canada and New Zealand could be spicy but like New Zealand's a very
नहीं
professional.
यार.
No. I'm saying
Their pride is damn bruised after the bollocking
after.
given to them by the Proteas. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Who do you
But it
think is?
just shows they have a bit of a soft underbelly
Yeah,
in their
yeah,
spin, and their
yeah.
bowling is a bit hittable for sure.
Who do you think is the most dangerous team in the tournament so far?
Apart
I've
from
been
the obvious, I would
apart
say
from
England are
India,
dangerous, man. They
obviously.
qualified.
England are, but their batting has
They're bad.
glass
But it's
jaw.
so
They're
OP,
sorry,
you just need a
their
couple of guys to
their
click. Josh Butter
bowling.
is due big
Sorry, I
time.
meant their bowling is their glass jaw.
Yeah.
Adil Rashid was so bad today. He got absolutely
That's what I'm saying.
drilled.
Their bowling is a glass jaw for them. I think
Yeah.
with England, really one guy could go off and he could play
Yeah.
a century of 50, just like Nissanka did today. Between Phil Salt and Harry Brooks and Ben Ducken, they have a lot of Drake Bethel. They have a lot of talent, but that bowling is just. I think South Africa, and between South Africa and New Zealand, that's your dark horse to win it.
I would
Obviously,
also
if you don't consider India.
I would also put in the hat. I would also say West Indies. I think West Indies have somewhat
Sure,
of
absolutely.
Sure, yeah, reasonable.
because I think their batting was the main thing. I was a bit like because I thought they were very Hetmeyer dependent, but everyone has been chipping in with runs, and their all rounders are chipping in with runs as well, and like their bowling has come together a lot this tournament. Their spin options are actually performing really well. I actually think they have been.
Moti and Akhil are quality bowlers, man.
They're
Always
good.
loved them.
Yeah. But like their entire bowling attack is feeling like a bowling attack. It feels like a pack of wolves working together, right? Which I can't say about a lot of teams in this tournament. And I do think they are seriously dangerous for this coming up.
They won't be an easy out in the Super 8s, that's for sure.
No,
For
not
sure.
not at all.
It'll be a
I
big
would love
Super
to see a
8s.
windy South Africa match. That would be very interesting.
That'd be a very fun match.
Very interesting game.
Yeah, but I gotta if that happens, I'm gonna bet all dollars on the West Indies. But I can't lie. They just have the heritage of clutchness in these type of games, and South Africa has a history. And South Africa has a history of blowing those type of games.
Cricket heritage, as Mourinho would say.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen.
Heritage.
Thank you very much. We will do it again tomorrow.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.